Masters of Horror was an anthology horror television show that aired on Showtime from October 28, 2005 to February 2, 2007. It was created by horror filmmaker Mick Garris, with the premise of each episode being a one-hour movie helmed by a master of horror. Filmmakers like John Carpenter, Dario Argento, Tobe Hooper, and Takashi Miike were brought in with the promise of creative freedom. The first episode of the series, titled Incident on and Off a Mountain Road, was based on a Joe R. Lansdale short story of the same name. Don Coscarelli of Phantasm and Bubba Hotep fame directed the episode. It starred Bree Turner, Ethan Embry, John DeSantis, and Angus Scrimm. It originally aired on Showtime on October 28, 2005. Fulfilling that promise of creative freedom, Coscarelli's episode features some brutal kills, torture sequences, and sexual violence. The fact that it aired on Showtime allowed for things you wouldn't see on standard television and was essential for the entire show's concept. The story for Incident follows Ellen, played by Bree Turner, as she gets involved in a car accident on a mountain road. Soon, she is confronted by John DeSantis' Moonface, and the game of stalk and chase begins. Interspersed with the chase sequences are flashbacks to Ellen's marriage to Bruce, played by Ethan Embry, a survivalist intent on training her for the end times. Red flags abound, but she pushes forward, and each new flashback unravels further insight into the failing marriage. It also showcases how she is utilizing the techniques she learned to outsmart the killer. Eventually, these two stories come together with a predictable twist and an unnecessary rape scene. The rape scene towards the end of the film serves as the basis for Ellen to kill her husband, and as a final twist, when she returns to her car and we see the dead body, and it feels completely unnecessary and gratuitous. Clearly, Coscarelli was going for a shock factor here, trying to push the freedom granted him via Showtime, but I think it could have worked without it, and it was a bit ridiculous in the context of the story. Obviously, he was a bad husband and an apocalyptic nut, but I don't think you need a rape scene to make some sort of bizarre, half-hearted feminist point, or to serve as a moment of female empowerment when she eventually kills her rapist. The movie was working fine as is, and could have still had the twist of killing the husband without that scene, and it works against the vibe of the episode. That being said, I wasn't really in love with the story to begin with. I never understood what attracted her to this survival nut in the first place, and the path their relationship went down felt painfully predictable. It made the Moonface segments feel hollow and less defined. We got no exploration of why he does anything or any well-done extended chase sequences. Instead, we just got these cliched segments connected with a boring backstory. I did enjoy Moonface's place and the production design and set decoration that went with it. However, I didn't care about all the chasing sequences in the woods as much, nor do I care about her marriage to Bruce. Angus Scrimm's performance was fun and a highlight, but that only served to make me wish we spent more time there in that dingy basement than anywhere else. The episode clearly fails to live up to the other, much better executed backwoods killer movies. While the look of the film sometimes brings to mind the best of Tobe Hooper, it never lives up to that level of filmmaking, and its exploration of deranged personalities is much weaker and more cliched. The cinematography was a mixed bag, with some nice nighttime sequences followed by very bland and generic photography in several other moments. Despite my problems with the episode, I still enjoy it at times. I am a sucker for these types of horror movies, and this one does hit some key elements that it needed to. I just wish that things made more sense, tied in together better, and made us care more for our characters. At the end of the day, even its moments of well-executed backwoods horror weren't enough to save the episode. This should have been right up my alley, but instead I left feeling a bit frustrated and underwhelmed. I love Phantasm, but Coscarelli is far from the first filmmaker that comes to mind when you mention Master of Horror. That being said, he wasn't a bad choice for a series like this. This wasn't a great way to start the series, but it did lay the groundwork for the fact that it was willing to go there, to push the envelope and deliver on the series' promise. We get some decent performances from the cast, and there are positives to take away, but the series was in dire need of more competent storytelling and filmmaking to fulfill its true promise as the ultimate in horror television. The reviews for the episode are mixed, and fans of horror seem to have widely varying opinions on the quality of the debut episode of Masters of Horror. To me, it definitely isn't amongst the best, but it also probably isn't near the worst either. Instead, it serves as a middling TV movie that had unfulfilled promise. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications every time I upload a new video. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.